This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us at 6 o'clock this morning. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Ray Collins. Wednesday, May the 3rd, and if you like sunny and hot, you'll like today's menu. Details now from John Scalzi.
That is absolutely true. Even though we start off a little bit cooler than we did yesterday, which is nice, I'll take that. A little lower humidity, a little cooler temperature. We are going to end up in the hot box. It will be a daytime high today that'll probably top out pretty close to the 90 mark. Lots of sunshine. And the humidities will be increasing. Of course they will be, right? They'll be getting back up there as the wind shifts south. Right now, no rain in the forecast for your morning commute. That looks good. Again, fire danger risk across the state is increasing despite yesterday's rains, which actually lowered the fire danger index in parts of South Florida because they got some pretty good rainfall there. Also in the Panhandle, most of North Florida, most of Central Florida is right now in the high or extreme category. So just be very careful out there. Hopefully we'll get another chance of rainfall as we head into the next 24. Today, only an isolated chance of an inland shower. Put that rain chance at only at about 10%. Otherwise, as you said, hot and hazy this afternoon with a daytime high near 90. Back to you.
Thank you, John. A little buildup now on State Road 70 heading away from 301. That's about the only red mark right now besides one at the 14th Street West and Cortez area. Pretty quiet otherwise on Clark Road as you head toward the interstate around Tuttle and Beneva there. Farther south now on the maps, we'll check South County. Little slowdowns around Business 41 between Nokomis and Venice, otherwise all clear at 6:02 on this Wednesday morning. We'll start now with the top 3 local stories making headlines this hour. This Northport man will spend the next 45 years in prison for suffocating his newborn son with a baby wipe down the throat. Little Chance Walsh never got past 7 weeks. The baby's mother took her own life in jail before testifying against the baby's father.
Sarasota County schools are taking big steps to keep students healthy, at least on school grounds. Board members voted last night in favor of pushing it through to a final vote in the coming weeks. In addition to employees, the proposed ban would prohibit any visitors and volunteers from lighting up on school property.
And today, 2 town hall meetings to discuss the expansion of the Legacy Trail in Sarasota. The county wants to extend it more than 7 more miles that would eventually connect Venice to Payne Park. 6:03 right now, topping our national headlines. Tension in Baton Rouge after news that 2 officers won't be charged in a fatal shooting from last summer.
News of the decision leaked yesterday before the Baton Rouge city mayor or Alton Sterling's family had even been told. A vigil was held last night with small crowds gathering near the city's police headquarters. The civil rights investigation opened soon after Sterling was killed outside the grocery shop where he was selling CDs. Video footage appeared to show the officers holding down Sterling as they fired their weapons, sparking days of protests around the country. Even though the federal decision has been reached not to prosecute those officers, the state of Louisiana could still bring up its own charges. And in Chicago this morning, 2 police officers are recovering from gunshot wounds after being shot on patrol. According to police, the officers were in one of the city's neighborhoods when suspects in 2 different vehicles pulled up alongside them and began firing. One officer was hit in the arm and the hip, while the other officer was shot in the back. They were taken to the hospital in serious but stable condition. Their names have not yet been released, but the manhunt continues this morning for the shooters.
In Dallas, a man accused of shooting his roommate, a neighbor, and then a first responder, and then killing himself has been identified. Police say 36-year-old Derek Brown brought his roommate into a back room and fatally shot him. A neighbor heard the gunfire and went outside, and he was shot. Brown then allegedly shot a paramedic and a police officer responding to the scene. Brown was later found inside his home dead from an apparent self-inflicted wound. The paramedic required surgery but is in stable condition in the hospital. An update on a fatal stabbing earlier this week at the campus of University of Texas at Austin. Friends and family of Harrison Brown gathered a memorial service. Brown was killed Monday by another student with a knife who also stabbed 3 other students on the campus. He was a freshman who hoped to have a career in music, the victim that is. Police arrested 21-year-old Kendricks White quickly after the attacks were reported. They say he suffers from mental health issues and chose his victims randomly. He was booked on a murder charge and will face additional counts. The other men he stabbed are recovering. One still remains in the hospital.
Developing overnight, the state legislative session is expected to be extended as legislators have failed to meet Tuesday's deadline to finalize the budget. Florida law requires that budget be completely finished at least 72 hours before a final vote can be taken. Top Republicans were unable to reach an agreement by last night's deadline due to a dispute over money for hospitals and nursing homes. The session lasts about 60 days and is supposed to end on Friday. Legislators can extend the session by a supermajority vote in both chambers, or legislative leaders can announce a special session. While
lawmakers decide on a special session, the governor plans already to hit the road to call out lawmakers for cutting one of his top priorities. Under the current budget, funding will be killed for Enterprise Florida, while funding for Visit Florida will be cut by nearly 70%. It also doesn't include Scott's request for $200 million to fix the dike at Lake Okeechobee. So beginning tomorrow, Scott will make stops in 10 cities statewide to encourage Floridians to reach out to the lawmakers about the budget. Both Sarasota and Tampa are on the list of cities he plans to visit.
Well, the number of candidates hoping to serve as Florida's next governor continues to grow. Today, former Democratic U.S. Representative Gwen Graham announced she's running for governor. That was actually yesterday, I apologize. Hoping to win the seat her father once held for 2 terms before serving in the U.S. Senate. Gwen Graham served 1 term in Congress but chose not to seek re-election last year after new congressional maps made her district firmly Republican. But now she says she's ready to take action.
My love for Florida runs deep. My dreams for Florida run wide. But my patience for an action in this state that I love has run out.
Prior to Congress, Graham worked as a Leon County school system administrator and also a lawyer. Orlando businessman Chris King and Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum are also seeking the Democratic nomination.
And back at the State House again, state lawmakers are one step closer to finalizing the medical marijuana amendment that voters passed last November. The House has approved the bill, which allows patients who suffer from chronic pain linked to 10 qualifying conditions to receive medical marijuana. Those who qualify can visit a doctor once every 7 months to receive a prescription of 3 70-day supplies. The bill also allows for 17 treatment centers by next year in the entire state. However, some lawmakers say the proposed bill does not do what voters intended.
Who are we to tell legitimate patients that they can't smoke their cannabis? That's not our business, members. It's not our business to infringe upon their personal freedoms. It's not our business to infringe on the sacred patient-doctor relationship.
The Senate is expected to vote on the legislation tomorrow. That is, if they can get past other things. They've got to pass a budget still, and if they don't get it done soon, a special extended session, which taxpayers do not like.
Yes. Costly, very costly.
Get it done, they say.
Put in an 8-hour day.
Yes, all right.
We're looking at some changing weather. You know, they may have trouble actually getting to Chambers because of some rough weather headed that way tomorrow. Yeah, I think so. We're looking at the potential in the state of Florida of some severe weather. We'll talk about that in a second.
Well, coming up, we'll take you behind the badge of a school resource officer that's changing the lives of elementary school students on the Suncoast. That's after this.
Now's a perfect time to create a custom system with California Closets. During our Door and Drawer event, save up to $500 on beautiful doors and drawers for any room. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
Everyone loves a bright and cheerful smile. Not everyone can find the dental care they need and can afford. Now there's a place nearby where anyone can receive professional quality dental care at an affordable cost. The LECOM School of Dental Medicine in Lakewood Ranch is now accepting patients. You will receive your care in comfortable, state-of-the-art treatment rooms. To schedule your appointment, please call the LECOM Dental Group Practices, 941-405-1600. We will be happy to see you smiling again.
The Wild Broadway series at the Players Center brings you the classic farce, Boeing, Boeing. It's the 1960s, and our swingin' bachelor is juggling 3 beautiful stewardesses from 3 competing airlines. But what happens when Boeing produces a faster plane? Comedy ensues. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. Opening April 26th, it's Boeing, Boeing.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
There's a whole new way to bank at Achieva Credit Union with Achieva Checking Plus. Get new unique features like full ID theft protection and online shopping rewards. Plus, it's an interest-bearing account, so you have a little extra for what really matters. Achieva Checking Plus isn't just an account for your money, it's for your life, including cell phone insurance. And that's good to know. Discover the plus at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Whether a family member needs a little extra help around the house, assistance recovering from a hospital stay, or someone to check in on them throughout the week, Right at Home's in-home care is the answer. Your loved one deserves the right care, and now we need caregivers to help give the right care for the right reasons, the right way. At Right at Home, we're one of the only private home health agencies in this area with the opportunity to earn paid time off. If you're someone who loves helping people, take a look at our website and click on Jobs to join our team today.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction and collaborate with our designers to create the perfect custom solution for any room. Go to CaliforniaClosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the showroom nearest to you.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Looking at some changed conditions this morning with a temperature that's a little bit lower than it was 24 hours ago and a dew point value that is lower than it was 24 hours ago by about 5 degrees, making it feel, I think, a little more comfortable outside, a little cooler, a little crisper. That won't last very long. We'll see the humidity start to increase pretty rapidly as our winds now out of the northeast shift to a more southeasterly direction over the course of the next 24 hours. Fairly clear skies. We had a little cloud cover around earlier on. That's somewhat dissipated now. 69 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia at 68, 69 degrees in Mayaca City. Closer to the coast, a little bit warmer. 71 degrees in Bradenton, 71 degrees in Parrish, Lakewood Ranch at 72, 71 in Sarasota, 74, Longboat Key, 73 in Venice, Inglewood, 71 in Northport, and Punta Gorda coming in cooler. High pressure, the dominant weather feature over the state of Florida. Back to the west, a low pressure area is gathering steam. It's coalescing with several other areas of low pressure. It's riding along a frontal boundary, and it will eventually move eastward, dragging this cold front into the deep south, forming a line of strong showers that will be approaching the state of Florida. That'll be by mid-afternoon tomorrow. We'll see that on our Florida doorstep. High pressure then moves out into the Atlantic, shifts our winds around to the southeast, returns the moisture supply to the state of Florida, and sets the stage for the, hopefully, chance of a few scattered showers and maybe even a thunderstorm or two in our area. Mostly sunny skies, shifting winds, returning the humidity over the next 24 hours, and then an isolated shower. This afternoon, isolated shower, about 10% chance. That's this afternoon. Rain chances go way up tomorrow evening and into Friday morning. So here's how it looks across the nation. You can see all those showers and thunderstorms gathering steam. There is a potential for some flooding rains. Watch the cloud cover kind of diving southward, an indication of a deepening trough of low pressure out there. And as I mentioned, there are flash flood warnings. There are stream, river flood warnings, urban flood warnings up for a large portion of the country. Northern Gulf Coast from Missouri on up into Indiana and Illinois. For us, it's a quiet day today. Not much in the way of any kind of rain showers forecast. The morning commute will be absolutely rain-free. We have drier air in place over us today, indicated by the tan contour. But you look at the water vapor imagery, which shows the swirls and motions in the atmosphere, and you really see a big dive southward of upper level winds drawing down cooler air. We're going to get, after that front moves through here, some slightly cooler air and certainly drier air for the weekend. So today, about a 10% chance of rain and warm. And then as we look at Thursday night into Friday morning, early Friday morning, maybe by dawn Friday morning, the situation will be gone. But the shower and thunderstorm chances increase markedly as that line of storms approaches. A slight potential with low confidence in it of perhaps some severe weather. So we'll keep an eye on that. Then a beautiful weekend. Back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Don. Taking a look at traffic this morning, looks like State Road 70 heading east is seeing a little bit of increase in traffic. Also 301 in the northbound lane. Also the DeSoto Bridge seeing some congestion in Manatee County. As we head into Sarasota County, there is an accident at University Parkway at Nasby Court. That is near the airport, so keep an eye out for that if you normally travel through that direction. Other than that, not a whole lot going on in Sarasota County. Pretty quiet throughout South County as well on this Wednesday. It's 6:16 on this Wednesday, and school resource officers are staffed at all middle and high schools in Manatee County, and at all but 2 elementary schools, a group of SROs rotate patrols.
In our Behind the Badge series, a look at law enforcement in area schools.
Walking the halls of Palmetto Elementary, dozens of children can be seen asking for a hug or a fist bump.
Good morning.
Isaac, go get your backpack.
Oh.
And in this crowd of elementary schoolers playing dodgeball, you'll see a face you wouldn't expect.
Go get him, Aim at the feet, aim at the feet.
That's Officer Douglas Marston, a member of the Palmetto Police Department and the school resource officer at Palmetto Elementary. Marston has spent 3 years as an elementary school resource officer, but has been with the force for more than a decade.
You are the liaison from the police department to the school, to the public, and to the parents.
His position is fully funded by the Palmetto Police Department, and daily duties include
walk around the campus, just make sure everybody's in their classrooms, there's nothing out of the ordinary. Just getting here? Okay. Come on, kiddo, let's get you to class, all right? As the day goes on, if disciplinary issues arise, I'll go from there and I just do a peek out here real quick, make sure there's nobody parked out here, it doesn't belong. I do go into classrooms and explain what I do for a living, let them ask questions. From there, with the questions related, it gives me a basis of where they're at.
Officer Marston has quickly proven to be much more than just a police presence. He's become a shoulder to lean on, a friend for both younger and older students alike.
Nico, how you doing? Good.
I feel safe because he's a police officer, and if something is wrong or if somebody is like bullying people, I could just go to him and I could talk to him.
I wave out of my car to him all the time. So does my mom, so yeah, he's pretty great.
He says having police presence on an elementary level is just as important as higher grade levels.
Yes, I will go out of my way to save these kids' lives. The thing with this position, you just never know. I mean, it can go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds flat. And then you're back down to 0 again. You don't know if a child has had an issue from the night before and all of a sudden he breaks down in a classroom.
When it comes to items confiscated on campus, he says it's usually students bringing items they've found on their way into school.
Like a knife or I've even found a pair of brass knuckles laying on the side of the ground. Unfortunately, some of them have picked up, a weapon here and there or something that's inappropriate. They'll bring it in and they'll hand it off to you.
His hope is also to educate students, to help officers become a positive presence in their lives.
By starting off at the kindergarten level, these kids can see that I'm a human, okay, I'm no different than they are.
Marston says there's a strong mental aspect to this job.
Trying to find out when there is an issue, what is going on sometimes in these children's heads. You just never know what's going to happen, why they are upset or what is going on if there is an issue. So you want to figure that out very quickly.
And his biggest reward.
Watching these kids grow up and then seeing them progress in a positive way. So yeah, that's the fun part. That is, it's, they feel so successful.
For a list of where school resource officers patrol in Sarasota and Charlotte counties, head to our website, mysuncoast.com.
And in Wednesday's installment of our Behind the Badge series, we're taking you up with Sarasota County's Eye in the Sky.
The Sheriff's Office Aviation Unit, known as Air 1, provides around-the-clock help for calls ranging from car chases to brush fires. The sheriff's office bought the chopper in 2005 for nearly $2 million. It's the only helicopter for area law enforcement. It often helps with neighboring agencies. 3 different pilots take turns in the cockpit. An infrared camera makes the copter a valuable tool in tracking down the bad guys, and also a 200-gallon Bambi bucket attached beneath already helps with the wildfires as well.
The bread and butter of an aviation unit is the foot pursuits, the vehicle pursuits, because you can make such a big difference in regards to helping and improving the overall safety of that call.
It was really incredible to see him coming down in such a small space and having such control over the helicopter.
ABC 7's Adam Cellini takes us inside Air One for a bird's eye view of some of the recent brush fires and a closer look at how the aviation unit helps track down some of the worst criminals in the area. That's later on today, Behind the Badge, right here on ABC 7. All right, still ahead in Good Morning Suncoast, new details in the case of an American man and a Canadian woman missing in Belize.
What evidence police now have found and how they're investigating the case after this.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get 1 more free. Call today.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill, I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Our pretty shot of the horizon at 6:24 on your Wednesday morning. Looking for more sunny and hot weather today. If you like that, it's pleasant.
Beautiful postcard pictures all the time.
Yep, very nice shot from our tower camera. Welcome back, 6:25 on Wednesday morning.
A grim discovery in the case of an American man and a Canadian woman missing in Belize.
Police discovered their bodies in a remote area, an apparent double homicide. Adrienne Bankert has the latest.
In this morning's GMA First Look, from missing persons investigation to a murder mystery, police in Belize finding the remains of 36-year-old Drew Dvorsny, a Marine veteran from Atlanta, and 52-year-old Francesca Mattis of Toronto in the sugarcane fields of Chan Chen near the Mexico border.
Knowing he was with her, it just makes me feel better. It wasn't him by himself, and they were together.
Dvorsny and Mattis had only been dating a few months. Both owned property in the town of Corozal, where they were well known by locals. They were wrapping up their trip. Dvorsny set to arrive in Atlanta this Friday, and Mattis was due to return to her 2 sons in Toronto last Wednesday. The couple enjoying their final night at a local bar. It was the last time they were seen alive. Coming up at 7 a.m., more on this tragic case with your GMA First Look. I'm Adrienne Bankert, ABC News, New York.
I accept I'm not the hiker I was. I even accept I have a higher risk of stroke due to AFib, a type of irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem.
But no matter what path I take, I go for my best.
So if there's something better than warfarin, I'll go for that too. Eliquis.
Eliquis reduced the risk of stroke better than warfarin, plus had less major bleeding than warfarin. Eliquis had both.
Don't stop taking Eliquis unless your doctor tells you to, as stopping increases your risk of having a stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. While taking Eliquis, you may bruise more easily, and it may take longer than usual for any bleeding to stop. Seek immediate medical care for sudden signs of bleeding, like unusual bruising. Eliquis may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
I'm still going for my best. And for Eliquis.
Ask your doctor about Eliquis.
Now's a perfect time to create a custom system with California Closets. During our Door and Drawer event, save up to $500 on beautiful doors and drawers for any room. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Florida Studio Theater presents Older Than Dirt, now playing in the Court Cabaret. Come celebrate the ups and downs of getting older. From joints popping to mirrors mocking, this show combines some of the funniest songs ever written for a witty and heartfelt 360-degree view of aging. Don't miss what critics are calling hilarious, incredibly creative, that has many laugh-out-loud moments. Older Than Dirt is now playing. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting floridastudiotheater.org.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
The official salon of ABC 7.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction and collaborate with our designers to create the perfect custom solution for any room. Go to CaliforniaClosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the showroom nearest to you.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, a man charged in a fatal home invasion in Manatee County has been convicted. We'll tell you how many years he'll spend behind bars.
And in Northport, a man convicted of murdering his baby son goes before a judge. The newest developments in that case.
And should teachers and staff be allowed to smoke on campus in certain spots? Well, the details of the vote last night in Sarasota County. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
We begin with a shot there of the Rosemary District. Nice horizon, 6:30 on your Wednesday morning. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thank you so much for joining us. Certainly some cooler temperatures right now. Not so much the case later on as the day progresses. Let's check in with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Absolutely right. We have 71 degrees, says Morgan Lee in Bradenton. Becky in Omayaka, who's usually a little bit cooler, comes in with 64 degrees. That's pretty comfortable. As we head into the afternoon, plenty of sunshine will boost our temperatures up to probably about 6 or 7 degrees above average. Yesterday, even with the cloud cover, we were 5 degrees above average. Temperatures across the region, well, we got 68 in Wauchula, Arcadia, 69, Myakka, closer to the coast, closer to the 70 mark, 73 degrees in Inglewood, 71 in Sarasota. That represents a significant increase, or decrease rather, in temperatures. Take a look across the state, 13 degrees cooler in Gainesville, even locally 5 to 6 degrees cooler most everywhere. So that's comfortable enough. Not much in the way of a rainfall chance today. Lots of sunshine boosting daytime highs to near the 90 mark. Our rain chance, minimal this afternoon, about 10%, mostly inland. We have better shower chances coming, though. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Right now in Manatee County, a couple of slowdowns around Cortez and 14th Street West. Otherwise, smooth sailing at this point of the day. Farther south now, you'll see a little problem there at University around the airport between 41 and 301 on a little thing called Nasby Court. A little problem there. Also a slowdown on Clark Road heading toward the interstate around Beneva and Honore. Farther south now on the maps, nothing too much to speak of at 6:32 on your Wednesday morning. We start this half hour with the top 3 national headlines. Tension in Baton Rouge after federal officials say they won't charge the officers who shot and killed a man named Alton Sterling last summer. Family and friends held a vigil last night near police headquarters.
In Chicago this morning, 2 police officers are recovering from gunshot wounds after being shot on patrol. According to police, the officers were in one of the city's neighborhoods when suspects in 2 vehicles pulled up alongside them and began firing. They were taken to the hospital in serious but stable condition.
A memorial service held last night on the campus of the University of Texas at Austin for the student allegedly stabbed by a classmate on Monday. This suspect was killed by, that is not the correct video, of course. The suspect was killed by police, but not before he also stabbed 3 other students. That suspect is now said to have a history of mental issues.
Topping our local stories this morning, the Sarasota County School District is taking a big step toward completely banning smoking across its campuses.
Now, the issue is whether or not to allow teachers and staff to smoke in certain spots on campuses. Right now, schools in the district allow designated areas, which may be changing very soon, but that smoking policy is being revised to also include electronic cigarettes. It's a move that some parents, educators, and even students have pushed for in recent years.
It's a very important issue that people are passionate about. We have some chapters at some of our schools of students working against tobacco, and they have been, vocal.
A final vote is set for next month in Sarasota County.
A burn ban in Manatee County has been extended by another 7 days. It's all due to the dry conditions we continue to experience on the Suncoast. Much of southwest Florida is already at a high risk for wildfires, and fire officials say conditions are only getting worse. During the ban, outside burning such as campfires, flares, and even fireworks are prohibited. Anyone violating the ban is not only guilty of a misdemeanor, but they'll also have to reimburse the county for expenses incurred as a result of that violation.
The smallest little fire that someone goes out and starts, maybe they're burning just some leaves or some brush, and they don't think it's a big deal, but we get this wind, and this wind picks it up and just takes it away, and before you know it, you've got the woods on fire.
As part of the burn ban, certain activities such as the use of outdoor cookers or using grills are permitted so long as they are supervised. And firefighters spent Tuesday afternoon battling a wildfire in Manatee County. The fire broke out on several farmlands on Moccasin Wallow Road just east of I-75. That fire burned 15 acres before crews were able to contain it, but there are no reports of injuries or any structural damage. The Florida Forest Service says lightning is to blame for that blaze.
A follow-up now. One of the 3 men charged in a fatal home invasion in Manatee County will spend the next 40 years behind bars. As part of a plea deal, this man, 34-year-old Therese Jones, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of second-degree murder and armed burglary. You can see him here. He's convicted of breaking into a home on Southern Parkway West in Bradenton and killing Esther Danaeus and Cantrell Brooks back in July of 2015. 5 kids were inside the house. None were injured. Brooks was sentenced to 25 years for the crime, an additional 15 years after being found guilty of possession of heroin and cocaine with intent to sell. The other 2 men you saw in the video are charged, and they're still awaiting their respective trials. South to Northport now, where this man will spend 45 years in prison for killing his infant son. Joseph Walsh pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the death of 7-week-old Chance Walsh. We're now hearing how he did it. He suffocated the baby by putting a baby wipe down his throat. Now, Chance's mother, seen here, Kristen Burry Walsh, was also charged in the case. She was sentenced to 25 years behind bars. As part of her plea deal, she was required to testify against Joseph Walsh, but she took her own life in jail before that trial began.
Sarasota police are asking the public's help in finding a man wanted for armed robbery. Police have released these surveillance photos of the suspect. Officers say the man held up a Circle K Shell station on South Tamiami Trail, that's near Sarasota Memorial, around 3 a.m. on Monday. He was wearing a black mask and was armed with a handgun. The suspect demanded money from a clerk before running away. If you have any information on this incident, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen.
And a much different note now. 2 town hall meetings today to discuss expansion of the Legacy Trail. Sarasota County is looking to expand it 7 more miles over the former CSX Railroad. The trail currently covers 10 miles from Venice to Sarasota. The county wants to expand it from downtown Sarasota south to Venice. Those meetings take place at noon and 5 p.m. today.
And take a look at this. If you're a biker, this is something you probably do not want to ever do. Take a look at your screen. Fortunately, these bicyclists are okay, but you can see one rider driving right into oncoming traffic and then 2 more doing the same exact thing, swerving cars from hitting them. Now, this video was captured right here in Sarasota over the weekend by surveillance video. Sarasota Police Department says that bicyclists need to obey stoplights and street signs as well. Certainly a scary situation there. I'm glad that they are okay, but that was pretty dangerous.
Yeah, we bike a lot, Aaron and I do, and oftentimes cars aren't always respectful of us, but in that case, bikers weren't watching out for cars.
Right.
Yeah, I bet as a biker, that just blows your head off.
Yeah.
To see something like that. Makes your head explode.
Always have to be on guard, John.
Yeah, I mean, that's correct. Well, I know as a motorcyclist, if I see motorcyclists doing something disrespectful of other drivers or of themselves, it's a crazy thing.
And as you mentioned earlier, you can put a lot of people in harm's way because of that. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping they learned their lesson.
I hope so.
Hope so. We have a chance for some rainfall, much needed rainfall, coming our way over the next 24 hours. We'll talk about that in a second.
All right, also still ahead, new details in the fatal crash involving the former Bachelor star, Chris Soules.
What the prosecution is now saying was found at the accident scene. That's next.
How's everybody doing? I'm Chef Bob Vitello, and this is Chef Alan Briscoe.
How you doing?
What do you got going for us today, big guy?
Well, today we're doing some shrimp tacos with a little chipotle seasoning, some fresh onion, some avocado that we're going to put into a salsa verde. So it's going to be really good. So what we got right here is just got some of these beautiful cilantro lime shrimp that we sell here at Publix.
Are those come frozen?
They come frozen.
I knew that. I just want to make sure you guys did.
And so we're going to add this beautiful mixture of seasoning right here. We're going to give that just a little toss. It's a nice, easy dish, very simple.
What is that stuff you put on there?
It's a little chipotle seasoning, chipotle garlic seasoning, actually. It's really good. It's got a great flavor. It's great on fish or shrimp or chicken, so it's got a great cross-utilization. Cool. So what we're going to do is...
That was a big word, buddy.
That's what I'm working on it. I'm telling you. Mom's happy with my college education. So what we're going to do is
What are you doing here?
I'm working with you, my friend. I'm working with you. So what we got is shrimp. You want to let them cook 3 or 4 minutes. They really come nice. Don't let them cook too long. If you let them cook too long, they tend to get a little bit tough on you. So now we're just going to plate this up real quick. We just put the shrimp in one of these little soft tortilla shells here.
It smells good, Al.
We put a little grill mark on that tortilla shell. We're going to add a little salsa to it, a little queso to it. We're going to add a little onion to it, and we're going to add a little bit of our salsa to it, which has a little bit of avocado, which we grab right here. We throw it around a little bit, put it on here, top that, just like that.
That looks good.
And there's our shrimp dish for the day.
Dude, I mean, I don't even know what to say. We're gonna have to eat those, and
I'm ready.
And I think the recipe has one other one on it too. But Alan made you this one. Starting tomorrow, be sure to stop by your Publix Apron Simple Meals kiosk, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients after sampling this delicious dish.
Thank you, Bob.
You're quite welcome.
It took a lot of work and dedication for 7 teachers to start our credit union and create a foundation that we continue to build on today. At Achieva, we never lose sight of the values that have defined us for over 75 years, and that's good to know. Achieva, banking for good.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251. 800-628-1251.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough! What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce?
Close enough! And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by 1 on any or all numbers and still win.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
It took a lot of work and dedication for 7 teachers to start our credit union and create a foundation that we continue to build on today. At Achieva, we never lose sight of the values that have defined us for over 75 years, and that's good to know. Achieva, banking for good.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we have changing weather conditions over the course of the next few days. Those changing weather conditions will come in the form of a cold front approaching our area. As the cold front approaches, you'll notice an increase in cloud cover tomorrow, and then the potential for some stronger storms moving through, especially the northern part of the state. But this morning, it's nice. We have cool, crisp temperature, cooler than yesterday, coming in at 71 degrees with a dew point value also cooler, coming in at 68. Fair amount of clear sky out there ensures you plenty of sunshine as we go through the morning hours. And if we get any rain at all, and there's only a small chance of that, it'll be mostly along our sea breeze inland later in the afternoon. So here's the scenario. High pressure over the state of Florida brings that beautiful weather I just spoke of today. Low pressure back to the west, producing major storminess through parts of the plain states and eventually into the heartland in the Ohio Valley. Dragging a cold front closer to the state of Florida, squall line forms and approaches the peninsula tomorrow morning. That could produce some severe weather. Then as we head into tomorrow evening, overnight tonight through tomorrow morning, that frontal boundary approaches closer to our area. High pressure scoots into the Atlantic and our winds shift out of the south a little bit later today, eventually even southwest. And what that means is that we could have some rip current advisories up for our area waters as those winds become more onshore as that front approaches. So watch for that if you plan to spend some time in the water later today. Mostly sunny skies for us this morning and afternoon. Shifting winds return that higher humidity and raise those lower dew points that I was talking about back up into the 70s. And we'll catch an isolated shower later today, but a much better rain chance over the next 24 hours as that front approaches. There's the storminess right now. If you're traveling today anywhere from Oklahoma City all the way up through Indianapolis, you could have some real issues with airport delays because of the intensity of these storms and their growing and expanding domain. Also to the northern Gulf Coast, the Louisiana Delta region, seeing some pretty good storminess a little bit later on today as well. Our area, not so much. We're looking at some nice weather, but warm weather today. Daytime highs will top out about 6-7 degrees above average. A little bit warmer than yesterday by a few degrees, probably pretty close to the 90 mark. Not a whole lot going on here locally, but as I mentioned, that's going to change. The water vapor imagery shows that dry air in place eroding away from west to east across the region. That means the moisture supply increases and the chance of rainfall along the sea breeze front increases this afternoon. Then we'll watch this squall line approach the state. As it gets closer, some computer models suggest it may kind of try to fall apart as that frontal boundary approaches by tomorrow morning. We'll see. We have to keep an eye on it. The Severe Storm Prediction Center, again today, keeps us in a very low confidence risk for perhaps some severe weather tomorrow morning. About a 5% chance right now. But we'll keep an eye on it in case that happens. 60% chance of some kind of rainfall as we head into Thursday night, Friday morning, and then clearing and cooler for the weekend. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at traffic, looks like downtown Bradenton seeing an increase in congestion as you head over the bridges. Also 301 southbound seeing a lot of congestion. I-75 looking clear though as you head into Sarasota County. There is an accident in north of Sarasota County, and that is at University Parkway and Nasby Court. Now that's over by the airport, so if you typically drive through that area, you're going to want to keep an eye out for that. Bee Ridge Road seeing a little bit of congestion, but other than that, as we head into South County, pretty quiet, just the normal pickup throughout Venice on this Wednesday morning. In this hour's Health Smart, taking a low-dose aspirin could lower your risk of breast cancer.
Women who took the 3 low-dose aspirin a week had a 20% lower risk. Low-dose aspirin's been known to help with heart issues and also colon cancer, but talk to your doctor before you start taking aspirin. Entertainment news, although this is not a very entertaining story at all, former Bachelor star Chris Soules allegedly had open containers in his car the night he struck and killed a man, allegedly on a tractor.
If you recall, Soules was charged last month with a felony for allegedly leaving the scene of a fatal car accident. His attorneys filed a motion to dismiss that charge against him on Monday, claiming that the criminal complaint against Soules is factually incorrect. Soules gained fame on the reality TV show The Bachelor, if you remember. If convicted, he could be sentenced to as many as 5 years in prison.
Singer Janet Jackson heading back on tour just months after giving birth. Jackson posted a message on Instagram where she joked about her weight gain, mentioned the split with her husband. The tour was originally postponed last year due to Jackson's pregnancy, and I understand you were supposed to go to a concert last year.
I was supposed to go with my mom. I had gotten her Christmas present to go to that concert because it was our first concert that we ever went to.
Yeah.
And so now it is on her birthday of this year. I won't be able to attend, but at least she can go and go with a friend. So that'll be fun for her.
You're going to send her tickets?
Yeah, I sent them to her yesterday, actually.
What a good daughter. All right, still ahead, a new way to eat French fries?
You don't want to miss this unique new invention that McDonald's is introducing to improve the way you eat their signature golden snack. Stay with us. That story's coming up next.
For your plumbing and electrical or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast restaurant guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Florida Studio Theater presents Older Than Dirt, now playing in the Court Cabaret. Come celebrate the ups and downs of getting older. From joints popping to mirrors mocking, this show combines some of the funniest songs ever written for a witty and heartfelt 360-degree view of aging. Don't miss what critics are calling hilarious, incredibly creative, that has many laugh-out-loud moments. Older Than Dirt is now playing. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting floridastudiotheater.org.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get 1 more free. Call today.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Daylight has broken.
There it is. Beautiful shot this morning.
Yeah, looking southwest at the Renaissance and Alinari, the Ritz off in the middle of that, and Sarasota Bay and Longboat Key off in the distance. Welcome back. 6:53. Here are the top 3 local stories making headlines this morning. A Northport man seen here will spend 45 years in prison for suffocating his newborn son by stuffing a baby wipe down his throat. Little Chance Walsh never got past 7 weeks of age. The baby's mother took her own life in jail before testifying against the baby's father.
Sarasota County schools are taking big steps to keep students healthy, at least on school grounds, that is. Board members voted last night in favor of pushing a ban on smoking for teachers and staff through to a final vote in the coming weeks. In addition to employees, the proposed ban would prohibit any visitors and volunteers from lighting up on school property.
And today, 2 town hall meetings to discuss the expansion of the Legacy Trail in Sarasota County. The county wants to extend it 7 more miles that will eventually connect Venice all the way to Payne Park.
And taking a look at traffic this morning, looks like increase in congestion as you head into downtown Bradenton. Also 301 seeing some congestion on the roadways. 75 looking clear as you head into Sarasota County. Pretty quiet, just the normal pickup throughout that area. In South County, pretty quiet as well. There is an accident on University Parkway at Nasby Court. That's over by the airport in Sarasota County. And let's take a look at the weather, John.
Well, a comfortable, pleasant start to the morning, followed by a very warm afternoon with increasing humidity. Chance of an inland shower. Better rain chances with a frontal boundary approaching tomorrow. Rain showers starting probably around 7, 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow, and then lingering through the nighttime hours into the morning hours. I think the rain event will be pretty much over by the time we finish Good Morning Suncoast by tomorrow morning. And then some clearing and cooler temperatures for the weekend. Looks lovely.
Yeah, clearing out nicely there. All right. Well, what happens when you combine French fries? I gotta be careful. When you combine French fries with a fork, it's called a frork. Some fans of McDonald's are loving the hands-free way to enjoy French fries. McDonald's seems fully aware of just how ridiculous the frork is, calling it uselessly useful. I mean, sometimes when French fries are too hot in a restaurant, I'll use a fork. But not in general.
Look at this commercial for it.
I'm confused. This is to protect your hands from the too hot temperature of the French fries, but you have to insert them into the device?
I guess sometimes people think they're too hot or too salty, so they want to use a fork.
I got that, but you've got to insert them into the device with your fingers.
Can't you just use a regular fork and just pick them up with that? I don't understand.
There's a design flaw there.
But they're getting free publicity.
Anyway, we're going to monitor the possibility, the way outside chance of some severe weather with the next front.
Very nice.
Stick around. Good Morning America coming up next.